Hi everyone, I'm Glenn.
I'm Cheryl.
And this is Couple vs. Cardboard presents Duo
versus
Doomtown. That's right. So this is a new segment that we're doing where we're just going to shoot and comment on some matches.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fun.
Right, and today we have a match between
myself, and Brian Flory, two guys from SoCal, Southern California. And we were in the finals in a sense.
Yeah, I mean you are the top two seeded guys
in the tournament. Yeah, so it was between him and I to win the tournament.
In first and second place.
One of us would have been in those. Yeah.
Yeah. One of you was first and one of you was second.
Yeah. So that at Gameology in Montclair, which is a stone's throw from AAG headquarters, and so we're just going to go straight into it. We are watching. Brian is on the left. He's playing the fourth ring.
Yep. Glenn is on the right, playing on a fourth ring mat, but with Sloan.
That's right. Yeah. There's no Sloan.
It's a little confusing there.
There's no Sloan mat at the moment. Otherwise, who knows? I might be. Brian is probably one of the strongest players in our area, which is worth pointing out. So.
Right. Glenn is a pretty strong player as well.
That's true. I guess. I am very scared of Brian. I can say that. There's going to be all kinds of little special knowledge in this. Like, if this were just random people, we would not know all the things that I will spill about this.
Right. Well, and Brian, turns out, was the first person I played in a Doomtown tournament against.
Just period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was my first competitor?
Yeah, competitive.
Opponent?
Sure.
Yeah. It's very scary.
All right, so Brian has taken a straight, and he will lose low ball. So Glenn, I will win low ball. Okay, so low ball winner is myself, is Glenn.
So here we go.
So. I'll move Barton to the center.
Okay, an aggressive open from the Sloan player, which is pretty natural.
And then it looks like Brian put in an out of town location, which is always really helpful for income.
Especially in this environment, like, because it's just so annoying to go to an out of town deed.
Right.
I'll boot and try and
okay, so right off the bat, I am going to play kidnapping. And we are going to try and take out Mongwu the Mighty.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But, I mean, he's obviously his anchor.
Right.
He's got Dolph, he's got Travis, he's got Micah. But obviously he's one of his anchors. So probably good to try and take care of him early if you can.
And it looks like that booted both dudes in your posse.
Right.
And why is that?
Because they weren't in the same location as the mark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be a 2 draw.
So we have both passed. I think we both passed actions. And so we're doing
the shootout.
Yeah, just going by the skin of our teeth here. All right. And I think it makes sense that I would do that. Some of these things I won't remember, so it will be like there's no special knowledge. But in this case, it looks like I did that with the intent of kind of trying to beat him to actually putting hexes on himself.
Yeah. Hexes. Sorry. Not spells.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Same thing. No, it's the same thing. The square is a rectangle.
You have first choice.
But a rectangle is not a square.
So he dropped a 5 of a kind, or 5 of a kind. I dropped a 4 of a kind.
But were you cheating?
Yes, but I think we both were cheating. But
because doesn't Barton give you a bonus for that?
Maybe I didn't lose as many, or maybe I just had to discard alley. Hopefully that is the case. Maybe I was not cheating. In any case, I ended up getting rid of alley.
But he didn't have to discard anyone.
He had to lose nobody.
Yeah. And I didn't hear. Do you know who was defending the kidnapping for him?
Everybody except for Dolph.
Okay.
4 of a kind cheating.
So I had a pair, which is going to ace Barton. He's going to end up with all that Ghost Rock.
Wow. That's rough.
Yeah, it was a rough opening for sure.
Well, there we are. So that happened. Yeah. I'll circle
It's definitely a rough open.
put out Poncho.
But putting Poncho in definitely can kind
Kidnap
of
again.
soften that blow a little bit.
Well, and I mean, it was a good move, I think, because once he starts getting hexes out, like it's rough to go against him.
Yeah, it's true. It is a little bit harder. I think it's just hard to lose that shootout. You know, it's hard to lose two dudes off the, you know, basically right off the first.
Right out the gate.
Right out of the gates. I mean, I think I probably had 3 plays before that, so.
I keep telling, like, I mean, obviously she's not going to be a narrator, at least not at this point. So I keep telling people, like.
I wonder if it's for people at home, if it's weird to hear my voice in 2 different places.
Oh, because they can hear.
Yeah, commenting, and then, well, a little bit, yeah. Okay, so we're moving into turn 2. And I will take low ball once again.
I don't play net runner, so that's. Yes. So I won. Did you give me a coin for that? I did anyone. Yeah, no, sure. She's not wanted. She's not wanted.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I apparently can't find 1 Ghost Rock. It's so hard for me.
Well, that 1 Ghost Rock. It's an important thing.
Yeah.
I will actually. Let's see.
I mean, legitimately.
I will not pay his. Huh?
Looks like I'm deciding whether or not I'm going to keep Poncho.
So that would be. Actually, no, I will. I'll keep him in.
Poncho's upkeep is really hard. My deck is supposed to put out Saloons a little bit faster than it actually did. In fact, normally it takes the money that Poncho used to put himself into play. It would have been a Saloon normally, so I would have had some upkeep. So it was really tough to kind of have to use Poncho, like to gain upkeep as opposed to gain Ghost Rock. So. Okay, so moving into his, I think that's the more.
It's a ranch.
It's one of the ranches, yeah. It's the 8 ranch.
I think it's the one that lets you draw a card.
Yeah, yep.
If you're down to 3.
Okay, he moves Mr. the Mighty into the center of town. I'll pass.
Attempt to boot Poncho.
And he is trying to Pestilence mark Poncho, but he fit. Oh, it is good. It is good. Okay.
So, and then he got to use the 4/3 home base, I think, is what he did.
Yeah. Cycle a card in.
Yeah.
That.
And gain a Ghost Rock.
And gain a Ghost Rock, yeah, sure. It's a good ability. It's tough. It makes it really good to be able to kind of find it, hex, or things along those lines.
Yeah.
Taking Ulysses out into the middle of town.
How many cards in hand?
I really, really like Ulysses. I think he's a really good dude if you put him in a saloon.
Oh yeah.
But he's very scary to kind of walk out just kind of into the middle of town. It's tough to put that much influence kind of out in the middle of everything with only 1 bullet.
Right.
Pass.
So he fails the Blood Curse on Poncho, which is key. Means in order to defend his place, he's going to need to probably send some guys there. Which he does. It looks like he puts in Stephen Wiles. And I move Ulysses there. And he moves Travis there. And I have called him out. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, this is going to be a thing.
It's going to be... Your play, dealer. Yeah, I'll go ahead and boot.
Pistol whip Steven out of there,
yeah.
which is key. Really, just neutralizing Steven is really key, I think.
Yeah, because he, I mean, typically doesn't stand very long.
Well, and not only, I mean, especially if you can ace him, then he doesn't come back too, which is even better.
Well, and the bummer for you, though, about this shootout is that Brian doesn't have any influence.
Yes.
You know, up for.
Right, up for, yeah, that's on the chopping block.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I have trips. Full bloat.
You guys are using like poker slang.
Yeah, so he He had 3 of a kind, and I
He had
ended up
trips.
with a full house.
A full boat.
A full boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naturally.
And you called me? Yeah.
I have to learn these lingos to seem cool.
I don't really know it, to be fair. One guy had been using it the night before, the one we were playing, so 2 nights before. So maybe a shout out to Rich Carter if you're watching. If you're not, then it's not a shout out.
I mean, it still is. He just doesn't know.
That's fair. Okay, so he's taking control of the ranch. Looks like the Circle M ranch.
These guys?
So, in a kind of surprising move here, he decides to go and kidnap Clementine. I think he's kind of comfortable losing either the income or maybe just the control points.
Right.
And he's going after Clementine, kind of assuming that she's all by herself, which is a fair assumption because she's literally all by herself. That's right.
She doesn't want to be though.
I mean, she's booted, you know. She's just
really hard for her.
She's sitting on a control point, so you really want to try and get her out of there.
And she's hard when because once you get her into saloon, right? You can't call her out. I mean, he could
do the kidnapping,
kidnap her,
right?
but...
Yeah. So it looks like he's using basically all of his dudes except for Steven. So Steven is at home, but Micah, Mangwu, and it looks like Dolph are all in the shootout. Maybe even Travis. I can't really tell because of the glare.
I mean, I think Travis is there because he's not at the ranch anymore.
Yeah, must be.
So.
Okay. And I apparently decided not to discard Clementine. I guess it was kind of a, maybe if I take out one dude kind of a thing.
Because what do you have to lose by defending?
I mean, theoretically, she could cycle back in.
Acing her instead of...
Discarding her instead of potentially acing her, or probably acing her. So that's kind of what's on the line here with this job.
Ready? Yep. Straight. 4 of a kind, illegal.
So illegal 4 of a kind versus his straight. Yeah. I don't think he had called illegal earlier in the round, and I think that's why I ended up deciding to kind of press the 4 of a kind in case he had a full house. I think I probably had a full house also.
Oh.
Again, this is all kind of speculation, but...
As one would expect from commentators who are
right.
not the actual players.
Yeah, I am the actual player.
But I know.
But I just don't remember.
I know.
I know.
Well,
yeah. Memory, really, at this point.
Sad day.
But it looks like you got him to get rid of a couple of guys.
Well, and I ended up with a ton of Ghost Rock. That was really key. So at Ghost Rock, because his guys were wanted and doing a job at my home, ended up giving me some pretty critical money, which I did not have. Because this round, again, I went into it having to pay Poncho's upkeep.
Right, and I got, it looks like Marion Seville came in.
Yeah.
He's real helpful.
Yeah. End up doing Sloane's ability, camping the center of town.
And then past.
Yeah, that'll look like it, yep. And it also looks like Charlie's Place came into play also, which is good.
Yeah.
Some valuable upkeep will kind of make sense there. So.
Give me a sec. You're already past the point of no return, so 2 pair cheating. I just mean it's gonna take me. Do you want to cut? I would like. Yeah. Okay.
Is the OK Corral or is it something out of Blazing Saddles?
I mean, it definitely. We just had a very interesting turn. It was. I think the odds were pretty stacked against me for a second there, and then we had a bizarre turn of events. Yeah.
So you're a big 4th ring player, right? Sloane.
What?
You play both of those factions a lot, right?
I only play Law Dogs a
Yeah,
lot.
you really.
I do have a 4th ring deck.
Yeah.
And I have played with it a couple of times.
Okay.
I do want to play with it more.
Yeah.
But I just haven't been able, because we were gearing up for the tournament, I really wanted to get my deck more dialed in. So I'm not going to go in with a 4th ring deck because I don't know them well enough.
Yeah.
So, but especially after seeing Brian play them, like...
Yes.
Because I don't know that I've seen someone play the 4th ring well.
Yeah.
And since it's kind of a less straightforward kind of way to play, I think it's hard to kind of figure it out as a new player how to make it go well. And I haven't seen it really be super successful until this tournament, really.
Yeah. Now, it looks like I ended up taking lowball again, and then moved Ulysses home. Now, Ulysses' ability, or to Charlie's place.
Right.
Ulysses' ability gives him an extra control point when he's in a saloon, or makes the saloon worth an extra control point, I guess I should say.
And he can boot out a guy who tries to come into the saloon?
He can, yeah. Now, Brian is in check at this point. So that is worth noting. Okay, moving Marion home. Booting out a lot of guys here. That is a strategy, I suppose. Booting a lot of guys out.
Do you remember why you decided to send Marion home?
Yeah, Marion, it was just to kind of protect that control point I had just earned. I mean, right now I'm sitting on 5. He's in check. He kind of has to do something.
I'm just wondering about moving him home as opposed to, I mean, obviously at the saloon he would still be at risk, but he would have a buddy with him, and Ulysses could kick that guy out.
Yeah, that's a good point.
At least the first guy.
Well, now it looks like I've decided to probably overextend myself a little bit, and I've moved Brian out of check by kidnapping the Mighty Mongwu. Which I think this was a critical mistake, and I can say that now because I have the pleasure of hindsight. I mean, I think this was a critical mistake. I have everything to lose here. I mean, I suppose I could have really wrecked him and put him in a really rough spot, but he still has Steven in play. I guess thinking that I would potentially be able to knock Mongwu out. I mean, obviously I had that crazy round with Clementine taking out multiple people. Probably shouldn't have happened, but...
5 of a kind.
And then he had a 5 of a kind?
So he has a 5 of a kind, and despite the fact that I want to play that cheating card, it was legal. So he had a legal 5 of a kind, literally nothing I could do about it. So,
oh man, that hurts.
Yeah, it's like physically painful to watch that happen. Okay, so now I am literally kind of sitting on a
like
nearly...
You can't really do very much
I'm
now.
almost completely booted out at this point.
Right now, right? Yeah. I will
Now, fortunately, I do have a lot of influence.
pass. Draw a card. Pass.
Okay,
Go to town.
so he's going to town with Mongwu. I don't know if someone's going to have to write down in the comments how I pronounce his name.
I think that's right,
All right.
but I do always feel hesitant to say it, and so I kind of just like avoid.
It's not exactly Tix or anything like that.
Right.
Tix Glenarlax or whatever.
I'll boot to give him 3 bullets.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of giving him bullets.
I mean 3 total.
That was also kind of an artificial pass because I knew I wouldn't be able to put any other dudes out.
Right.
So it's kind of this artificial pass where it almost makes it seem like maybe I'll have a strategy. So he is now pestilence marked Clem. So I'm completely booted out at this point. So I'm really at his mercy.
Right, but he's not going to be able to get enough at this point control points to
Right, to beat my 5.
to beat your 5 influence.
Right. Now it is worth
Depending
pointing
on what
out he
happens.
is sitting on a blood curse as well.
Right.
So he is sitting on a blood curse, which is an easy way of kind of reducing influence.
So I can boot the casino to raise and lower the value of Clementine by 2.
Okay, so
Mongwu over to the saloon.
he takes control of so I knock him back out, which is interesting. Okay. And now Steven moves into the saloon and takes control of it. I can't knock him back out. And he is going to pay for the Undertaker. The graveyard?
That looks like the Undertaker. to me.
Undertaker, okay. Couldn't remember. Undertaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so now he is now sitting on 5 control points,
Blood curse.
which is exactly equal to my influence. And now he's going to go ahead and blood curse.
I need an 8 or better with his Huckster rating. Okay.
And he gets it.
Just gonna check it. Yeah.
So that will...
Take out a bullet and an influence on, I don't know who, I didn't see who he marked.
He did it on Clem, I think. putting me in a really... I mean, there's literally no option at this point.
Bummer, I think you got it.
Looking for
It's
options.
like you're doing that thing that I do at the end where you're like, well, clearly I can't do anything, but like maybe there's like this tiny thing that I can do that can keep me in just long enough to try and
well, and it's the other thing too of
like I'm booted everywhere. What am I going to be able to do? I can't do anything, but I want to be able to do something real bad.
Well, and the weird thing about Doomtown particularly is what you sit there and end up doing is you kind of have to give up, as opposed to a lot of other games where the opponent will force the victory. And so there I have kind of I have passed and thereby giving him kind of the win. So
yeah,
it's weird with Doomtown because you really kind of concede almost in every because you just kind of go,
there's nothing I can do.
I can't do anything. You know, you have checkmated me.
Right.
So really interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the same as it is in chess in effect, which is
that's true.
Kind of what this game is compared to.
Often, yeah.
Yes.
So, I think obviously one of the big things, I think we can yank these headphones out. I think obviously some of the critical mistakes for me, I have the gift of hindsight. I mean, I think is, now my guess is, and I can't remember specifically, is I think I thought I maybe had a pistol whip in my hand. The difficulty was that I also kidnapped, which booted my guy out, and so I couldn't use the pistol whip. I had kind of hoped to be able to do that, and that was really kind of a bad move. I think I had assumed I'd be able to use Ulysses or something like that turn and be able to pistol whip with them. That was not the case.
No.
And so it was just kind of a very critical error in judgment, which ended up kind of really doing that. But the other thing too is I think it's intimidating to play with kind of someone of the caliber of Brian.
Absolutely.
Because, he's very smart. He's played the CCG now for 15 years. And so it's just kind of hard to, you just kind of walk into that and go, he's just a very smart player.
He's like the expert.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. So.
But, I mean.
It was a ton of fun.
I think if you think about it as he would put.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of risk management. So, there are many times in the game, and I think in games that I play, where you do this risky move that you didn't need to do. Like maybe you weren't winning that round, but everything would have moved forward, and you would have a lot more opportunities to do things the next round. It's like once you're kind of in a place where you don't have to do something else, or the next thing that you would do would be kind of risky. It's probably better to just cruise until.
Well, and the other thing that's really interesting is I think, and I this is insight that I don't think you'd normally get necessarily in a match, but I think it was really, I think losing the two characters in kind of the first blow was really kind of it's just kind of emotionally you really take a morale hit. So. I think watching it in hindsight, it's like, I wasn't actually doing that bad.
No.
But when you're sitting there in the thick of it, it can really feel like...
I have, nothing going on for me right now.
Yeah, it can feel like you're behind the gun. Now, I will say, I had Poncho, but obviously Poncho is very expensive, so it's hard to kind of keep going in that kind of environment where I don't have any saloons. But, at the same time, I wasn't exactly like I was behind the 8-ball necessarily either.
No,
so.
And especially you got out Marion.
Right.
So you had some guys to work with.
Right. So.
But I think still, I mean, it was a good.
Yeah, it was a good match.
Game.
It was fun, and it was definitely just really fun. Obviously, we played a number of games after that, so it was really fun. So.
Yeah.
So that's what we have. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please shoot us a like and a thumb if you enjoyed it. Subscribe because we will do more of these.
Yeah.
And otherwise.
Keep playing awesome games.
We'll see you guys next time.